Okay, here's what you will need to change your oil on your car. Some leather gloves, so you don't get oil over yourself. The oil filter cap, which you use to pull the oil filter off. You hand tighten to put it on. Ratcheting wrench. Mobile One. Synthetic oil. An oil filter. You'll have to see which one's good for your car. And then of course the attachment to see which one to pull off the filter, or to pull the nut off of your oil pan. Funnel, and then the actual oil pan to collect the oil, and some paper towels. So here we are underneath the car, and here is your oil pan, and right here is the nut. And what you will do to get the oil out is just take off this nut. Got it loose enough right now. And then put on the leather gloves, take it all off, the oil will drip down and run into here. Okay, so right now the oil is dripping into the oil pan. It's just running in like so. I've taken the nut off and I'm just going to let it drain. Let it drain about 5-10 minutes until the drip stops. You'll see the oil is still dripping just a little bit. Very fine drip. We're just going to let that drip out till it just, instead of a stream, that it's dripping. Here is where the oil filter is. And what I'm going to do is once I close off, once that's done, the oil's all drained out, close up the oil pan, and then I will take off the oil filter and replace it. But anyway, here's under the car, there's where the oil is still coming out, and there's where the oil filter is. Of course your car may be different, this is a Toyota Highlander. Alright, the oil is now to just a drip, so I've cleaned off the nut here. I'm going to screw this back in, then I'm going to wipe off, clean up in the oil that kind of splattered about off the oil pan, and then I'll pull off the oil filter. Okay, with a paper towel I had cleaned this area off. Now I'm just going to tighten this with about a quarter turn. Okay, so the nut is back on now securely. Now we use this, and we use this to get off the oil filter. So what's going to happen, of course, when you pull the oil filter off, oil's going to start to spill out. Now on this car there is a little drainage plate kind of that will direct where the oil goes. Not all cars have this, so just be ready for a lot of oil to fall out. So you want to make sure that you have your oil pan right below to be able to catch all the oil. Alright, I have the oil filter, or the this piece to pull off the oil filter here. So it's a little awkward to do and hold this camera. Once I get this loose, I will unscrew it and oil will start to drip out into the oil pan here below. Alright, it's loose enough where I can just pull it off my hand now. And you'll see the oil start to come out right into the oil pan. Take the whole thing off. Just gonna let it drain for a little bit, and then you take the whole thing off, and then you put the other with paper towel wipe it all down, and then put the other oil filter on. Okay, here is the new oil filter. Here's the old one. And what you want to do is just get a little oil around the rubber part of the filter there. So rub it on from the old filter so that you can make a nice seal. There's where you'll screw in the new oil filter. So just get this in like so. And you're just going to hand tighten this. Okay, so you don't need to, sorry, this is really awkward trying to do this. Just do a hand tighten. Don't use that other tool to grip and make it really tight. So I don't know exactly to say. I can't tell you exactly how firm you want to do it, but just make it good and snug. So just turn a little bit, and one good turn, and that should be it. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And now you have taken care of that. You have your new oil filter on. Okay, so now you've got your hood up. This is where the oil will go in. You can take your funnel, make it very clean, wipe it all out. Here is where you will dump in oil. And I use the one synthetic, this 5W30. It'll cost you about 27, 30 bucks, something like that. The oil filter would cost about $5 to $6 from your local auto store. And then just pour this in very slowly, and then you will be done. Alright, so we're all done with our oil change. Here's where all the oil is right now. We dumped it in that pan. You can take it to, depending on where you live in the country, Napa, Checker, and they will dump all the oil in and recycle it for you for free. So, with the cost of about $5 to $6 oil filter and around $27 to $30 oil, I use 5W30. Your car maybe use something else. Your oil filter should, or your oil change should cost you around 35 bucks.